Good evening and welcome to Phenomenal Leadership. This is Bishop-elect Edlin Scott, and I'm excited, as always, to bring this broadcast to you. Reach out to your friends, let them know that we are live, so I'd like everyone to like and share this broadcast. Once again, this is the Tuesday edition of Phenomenal Leadership. I'm your friend, Bishop-elect Edlin Scott, always excited to share, always excited for iron to sharpen iron. We're talking tonight about personal development, so you really want to be with us for this broadcast tonight. We're talking about personal development. Is there anything that you are doing to personally develop yourself, or are you relying on somebody else to do it? What are some of your initiatives that you're doing? Hang with us. Got a beautiful broadcast for you today. Well, this coming Friday night, that's in about tomorrow's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I want you to join me and the Voice of Deliverance family as we go to Cornerstone Church of God there in Baintown, Finlayson Street in Baintown. They are celebrating their women's anniversary. The host pastor is Reverend Patricia Clark Roll, and they're under the awesome team Travailing Women. My wife is going to be the speaker on Friday night, this coming Friday. That's the 21st of June at 7:30 p.m. Is there a word from the Lord? I'm telling you, there is a word from the Lord. So those of you that can, those of you that follow the ministry, join us. We're going to be there with her on this coming Friday night. That's Friday the 21st at the Cornerstone Church of God, Finlayson Street there in Baintown. That's right off, as you come right off Pontiana Drive, it'll take you right to the church. Just a couple of buildings on the left-hand side. After you pass the open lot, the next building is Cornerstone Church of God. And then June 30th. So Sunday, after Sunday passed, then the following Sunday, the final day in this month, I am celebrating another birthday. And so I'm inviting all of you that follow us to come and celebrate with me. Come share. Generally, we start our service at 7 o'clock, and by 8:30 we're done, or the end is in sight. How's that? And so I'd like for you to come and join us as we go through another milestone. It's going to be a testimonial service where various ones are going to be sharing. I have been ministering, and I want to hear what effect it has been in the lives of those who've been sharing with us, who've been following us, even those of you that just follow us on social media. You can send out a greeting. You can send out the greetings to us. We'd like to hear from you, of course. And if you can be in the service, you can do so. If you'd like to send a love gift, there's the opportunity with Zelle, there's PayPal, there's Cash App, or if you're in the Bahamas and you don't have any of those mediums available to you, reach out to me and I will tell you how you can possibly do it. So we're looking forward to it. That's on the 30th of June. This coming Friday, this week, my wife is preaching at Cornerstone Church of God, and then next week Sunday, will be the birthday celebration. And so I'm excited. I'm thanking God for all that He's done. Thank you, all of you that sent out the Father's Day congratulations to us, that wished us Happy Father's Day. Really appreciate God so much for you. We've been getting it from all over the world. And so I really appreciate that in such a special way. All right, don't want to hold you up long. I want to jump right into this, and we'll be out of it. So here's the big question. What are you doing to develop you? What are you doing to develop you? Remember last week we talked about it, and we talked about being intentional about your growth, because it's not just going to happen. You're going to have to position yourself for it. You're going to have to want it. And two things is going to be very important. Number one, you have to want to grow, and you have to be prepared to do some things, even if it means make yourself accessible to someone that can help you. That's one thing. And then, what are you doing to help others grow? I have found that the more you grow, the more you become concerned about growing others. In an environment where people are excited, it's easier to get involved in a whole lot of things. It's almost like a car that you got to push to get it started. And so when you first start to push, it's kind of rough. But once that car gets a little momentum, then it gets a whole lot easier. And so as you get excited about growth and personal development, then you're going to share it with others. And a lot of bells are going to go off in your head because of the information, the knowledge that you are gaining. So, personally, there has to be something done about yourself. And then when you are enlightened, when the light comes on in your life, you should then try to see how many other persons around you can turn on the light in their lives. And then that aspect of ministry is leadership. I was listening to John Maxwell, and he was talking about pretty much some of the same things. And he has this book that talks about different laws. I think it's called, I don't want to misquote it, but one in this book about some general laws that governs life. He was talking about the law of the lid. And the law of the lid speaks to wherever you are in life, like as a leader, from 1 to, let's say, 10, wherever you are in life, if you are a mid-range leader, say you're around 5, then your business, your leadership is going to be beneath that. Because, again, one of John Maxwell's most famous saying, everything rises and falls on leadership. And people look to leadership for directions, because leaders should see more than others see. And of course, leaders should see before others see. And so if you cannot see the way out of this situation, more than likely your subordinates are not going to be able to see it, because if they look to you for directions and you have none. One of the things that leaders must always know what to do next. They must always know what to do next. And so John Maxwell talked about the law of the lid. And so in that he said that if you are 5, you cannot lead people to a 6, 7, 8, 9, not even 10. In fact, it probably would be very difficult for you to even lead them to a 5. You cannot give what you do not have. If you have to, why would you want to be stuck at 5 when there is 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10? You are stuck at 5 because that's where your abilities end. And so more than likely, everybody is held up because you've exhausted your abilities. Everybody desires If you're a business person, you desire a good business. If you're a church leader, you desire a great congregation. If you are an auxiliary leader, if you're just leading a group, even if you're just a husband and wife team, you want the very best for your family. And one of the mistakes that is commonly made is we just think in existing will automatically make it happen. There are some things that you've got to do. And John Maxwell says one of the ways to grow your business or your church or your auxiliary or whatever group that you're head of is you have to grow the leadership. Because if the leadership, if leadership is the one that gives it to you and the leadership doesn't get it, you are not going to get it. So the Bible says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. So leaders must have and they must be knowledgeable. And for fear of sounding that I have a problem with goal. I have no problems with setting goals in life. But that's what the average person does. The average person just set goals. And so in life, they just look for a destiny. But true leadership is all about not setting goals, but applying growth. Because many years ago, I heard somebody made this statement. They said, your there is not there. Your there is not there. Meaning, if you are goal-oriented, when you get there, then you shut down. But if you are growth-oriented, when you get there, you're looking where else to go. And then when you have a growth mindset, you don't settle for making an A. You settle for being the best you can be. There's a big difference. It's the end of the school year. It's the end of the school term. And so there are a lot of graduations, commencement exercises, report cards, and all of that. And so parents are quickly looking for the paper to see what have your child done. And for the most part, if they made it above a C, parents are happy. If they make a B, boy, they really happy. Of course, they hit the distinction, then of course, they doing cartwheels. But is that the best that your child can do? And that should be the question in your mind. Have you done your very best? Are you hitting your potential? Or are you just hitting the passing grade? So, in order for us to enjoy a better life, then the quality of leadership has to increase. The quality of leadership. We're not short of position leaders, but are they good leadership? Some people, they see leadership as the top dog and that's it. But it's a whole lot more than that. How well you lead determines whether you're going to have success or the type of success that you're going to have. Some people can just settle for just having something in the glass. And they will not go beyond that. But if the glass can be filled or full, I prefer it full, as opposed to just accepting what's in the glass. To grow whatever you have, you must begin by growing your leaders. Your growth today determines your success tomorrow. If you want to know whether or not you're going to be successful, it is determined by what you do today. If you're doing nothing in school, right? You can almost, you don't even have to be a prophet to prophesy that person's life. But what you do today determines the kind of success that you enjoy. One of the things that we constantly do, and I see it a lot in church. In church, well, let me introduce what we constantly do, and then I'll get back to the church piece. All right. We are spending more time in repairing and less time in preparation. What do you mean? Repairing is what happened Sunday. You go back and try to fix what happened Sunday. Whatever went wrong in the service on Sunday, you wait till the next week and you say, okay, we're going to repair that. But preparation is more about moving forward. You ever notice, and I want you to take note of it. Your front windshield in your car is bigger than the back one. And the other thing is, you have a mirror on the driver's side, on the outside, that is very small, and on the opposite side, another one's very small, and the one that's right inside the car, that's small too. But the windshield in the front is very big. There's one in the back, but it's not as big. Trust me, it is not as big as the one in the front. And I think it's designed. It is designed that you, or the plan is go forward, not really go back. Even this, cars can go faster forward than they can go backwards. But what are you basically involved? We're talking about growing oneself. And when you grow yourself, then your next move is grow the people around you. Are they moving forward? Are you preparing them for forward? This is preparation for forward. So there is preparation or there is repairing. And repairing don't take you nowhere. Repairing just keeps you back. But preparation is what takes you forward. Apostle, my pastor, would have said this to me many years ago. Right? He says, do not seek out an opportunity to preach, but be ready when one presents itself. And that, as a young preacher, that didn't make no kind of sense to me. But one of the worst things you can encounter is be given an opportunity and you're not prepared for it. Given an opportunity and you're not prepared for it. Could you imagine the car lots advertising? Okay, we have new cars. We have new cars, and cars are really cheap. And everyone that comes, you can drive off the lot with a new car. So you drop everything, you go down there, only to find we have, say, 300,000 people in Nassau, and they have 6 cars. It totally don't make no sense. Totally do not make any sense. So, preparation. And sometimes you get discouraged in preparation because it appears as if opportunity is not going to come. But if David did not have the preparation with the lion and the bear, he could have not go up against Goliath. If David didn't learn the things that he would have learned, and they was in some very adverse situations, but preparation is for going forward. Preparation is setting you up for a better tomorrow. Preparation is about going forward. Repairing is fixing yesterday. When you desire or when you decide that I want to develop myself, there's a couple of things that has to be done very quickly. And one of the things that you got to do very quickly is make a shift. Make a shift, or be prepared to make a shift. We keep getting what we keep getting because we keep doing what we keep doing. But if you want something different, you have to input something different. If you want something different in your hand, you have to put something different in your head. Because then it translates out to what comes into your hand. Personal shift is absolutely necessary when you are trying to develop oneself. You have to apply yourself. If you don't apply yourself, then stuff just ain't gonna happen. So you have to decide, am I going to just settle for what is actually going on, or am I going to settle for something different? You have to determine in your head what it is that you want. Now, obviously, when you go to growth, it is because you're not satisfied with what you have. And I love people who is all about growth. Usually when I go off and I go to seminars and I come back home, I be buzzing with ideas. Just a whole bunch of stuff just be going through my head. I was out to a graduation today, and I guess I was looking at, I guess the average person say he's looking at the wrong things. But I'm a public speaker, and so the three things that impressed me today, right? I'm a public speaker, so I'm always looking how to better my craft. I listened to the moderator. A fifth grade student was the moderator, and she speak absolutely well, very well. The principal made her presentation, and I maybe I overread the whole thing, but just bear with me, and you probably see where I'm going. She did some things that pull the audience into the speech, right? What she did was, apart from how she made a presentation, which was really awesome, I like how she engaged the people, but the church was, full from front to the back. And so as she began to talk about the accomplishments of the children, now bearing this in mind, all of those parents were there because of their child, right? So she found a way to get them involved in the speech. And each time she talked about an accomplishment of a child, she asked that particular child to stand. And as a parent, if I'm sitting in my seat, don't care how bored it is, I come to life when I hear my child's name called. And so the audience erupted each time she called a different child, and it was just so great. Then the superintendent came on afterwards, and again, very engaging, very engaging. The thing that he did that I thought that he would have it was gonna mess up the whole thing was, he moved from behind the podium where the mic was, and then he moved down in the audience. So I said, oh Lord, this church is so big. I wonder if he understands what needs to be done next. He stood and he projected his voice. He didn't whisper. And I just smiled and I thought that was just so much wisdom at work. He projected his voice. He engaged the audience. He walked down the aisle. It was excellent, really good. And so I saw a lot of things that I can't wait to implement. Remember last week we talked about it? We talked about prepare, practice, and review. You can't see some stuff, don't practice it. You can't get the information, don't practice it, and don't review the whole thing. So I'm waiting to try it all out. But personal shift. It's important that you position yourself for what is going to happen, right? The other thing that you need to do is understand that growth is not overnight. Now, I am, I don't know what kind of farmer to call it, but I am a hobbyist farmer. All right, I just do it for hobby because it relaxes me. It relaxes me, and it gives me watching my plants grow. It I don't know. It makes you feel like I have a reason to live. And so I watch it, and when everybody else is frustrated with my plants, I am not frustrated because I understand there is a process. There's a process between the time when I plant my seeds before they pop up out of the ground. So there are things that I got to do whether anybody see anything in the ground that I have to do. Leadership and growth is not a miracle, meaning like, bam, it just happened. There is a process. There's a process to it. At the end of this teaching, this will not make you a leader. This gives you some information towards becoming the leader. So, as you grow, you have to always find more things to keep yourself growing. Everything is about feeding it. If you want to develop muscles, you gotta exercise the muscles so they can grow. Not just bathe them, wash them off, and keep them clean. There's some things that you gotta do. If you don't want to be sick, you have to eat every day. I mean, I don't know if that's a good example, but you got to eat every day. Every day you got to eat if you don't want to be sick or you want to remain healthy. So like everything else, you just got to go on. Now, one thing that I found in the church world, I am actively in the church world, is that we are good at maintaining, but not how to be creative. What do you mean, Pastor Scott? What we look at is, okay, I'm having church on Sunday. And so all your plans is towards church on Sunday. And your church on Sunday, for the most part, you're not going to be considering, I guess, what went right. You're going to be looking at what all went wrong. You're going to make sure that didn't go wrong, and that's all you're working towards. There's no creativity, meaning what you saw Sunday, you will see again this coming Sunday. What you saw throughout the entire 25 Sundays almost that has already passed, you will see that for the next 25 going towards December. There is no creativity. And where there is no creativeness, there will be no growth. If you only maintain, I just want to be well. I just want things to go without it. But are you prepared to take it to the next level? Are you prepared to step up? And church leaders are very good at just holding things. They're good at managing. But thinking outside the box and being creative, it is very shallow and true. So the most you're going to see, if it's Men's Day, you pretty much know exactly what's going to happen. If it's Women's Day, you pretty much know what's going to happen. If it's Youth Day, you pretty much know what's going to happen. And so very rarely you see people go outside of the box because they are afraid of where they have not been. My wife said something in a speech. She said, and it really speaks to it. I don't know, I can't remember exactly what it was, but let me give you the gist of what she was saying. She said the average person looks for a trail and then they follow that trail. But true leaders go make a trail. There's a completely different, if I'm going downtown, I will go down a road with someone already made for me. So there's really nothing in my way. I just need to keep my head on and follow the trail. So I just need to maintain. Not being creative enough to find out, is that the shortest route? Is that the easiest route? Is that the best way to go? And so she talked about, don't look for a trail. Go make a trail. In other words, you go down that trail named Daron. So, you've been going down Daron's trail, and that's what you've been getting. So, go down Jamal's trail. Pick up Jamal. Go down Jamal's trail, and see where that takes you. And so, stop just, if you want to personally grow, you have to move away from just managing. Because you don't really grow. You cannot, if I keep lifting something that I can lift, my muscles will get used to it. It's just like your headache pills. If you anytime you get a headache, you take you pop 2 pills. Sooner or later, it ain't gonna work, or you have to speed them up. Either they say take them every 6 hours. You got to take them every 4 hours for them to work. But if you're thinking about growth and personal development, it is very, very important that you make your shift, and it is important that you understand that it is not going to happen overnight. And even when you have read all of the books that you can find, went to all of the seminars that you can go to, when you've listened to every leader that you can, you've still not understood everything there is to know about leadership. So, personal development. Make a shift to develop yourself, and then make a shift to develop everybody around you. Then determine in your heart, determine in your mind that my goal is not to make them a leader. My goal is to make them better. Because for some of us, leadership is being in charge, and that's where it stops. Marriage is not about finding a wife, having some children, having a home, having a nice job. Is that it? That's not it. But that happens when spouses are goal-oriented and not growth-oriented. When you are growth-oriented, nothing wrong with goal. Goal is important. But some people are so goal-oriented that when they stand in the pulpit and they only see 3 people, they say, boy, I ain't preaching today because there's only 3 people in church. When they look out the window and they see 200 in church, they go, get my robe. I need a robe. I can't go there. I need a robe. I need this. I need that. Call a musician. And they get crazy. But same assignment. that big, but they are goal oriented and not growth oriented. When you're growth oriented, the size of the crowd don't move you. The gender or the audience don't move you. You are moved by the empowering of as many persons as you can. Well, not that I'm out of words, I'm just out of time. Thank you so much for listening. Join me again on this coming Thursday. On Friday night, I want all of my friends from everywhere meet us through Findleson Street off Ponciana Drive, just after you pass the open lot. There's a big open lot. The next building is Cornerstone Church of God. Come out in goodly numbers and help me support my wife as she is speaking under the theme Travailing Women at this church's anniversary. Pastor Patricia Clark Roll is the very fine host pastor. And then the end of the month, and the big things are going. The end of the month, I'm celebrating my birthday. It's going to be a testimonial time where I want to hear from people whose lives have been touched through the ministry. What have we been saying? I want to know if I've been making sense. All right? Someone said, boy, Pastor Scott, you only pleasing God. No, I preaching to God people. I'm ministering to God's people. And so sometimes we so caught up in what we saying, we don't know whether it's making a difference. And it's important, whatever you do, to make a difference. And you can only make a difference where it makes a difference and with people that are making a difference, big difference. It's almost like we are lifting 12 blocks. So I go to the end of the building and I lift 1 2x4. Well, it was good to move 2x4, but today we moving the blocks. I need you by the blocks. So in order to make a difference, you got to find out where makes a difference. I say this to my employee all the time. I said, if you were not to work yesterday and I worked yesterday, before you start working tomorrow or today, you find out where did I stop. Find out what we doing today. And then you go on from there. Thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast tonight. Hey, all of you that was listening in, thank you so very much. Go over and check out my YouTube channel. A lot of the videos that I do is on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel and you'll know when we're doing something that's be going on. You get a notification bell to let you know what's going on. All right? God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.